we have been seduced into just being addicted to content, to just shit that appears in front of us. I am optimistic. I'm choosing to be optimistic that AI, apart from all the massive problems it's going to create, I think it might speed a human anti-tech reaction. And I don't know how long that will last, but I think once we realize that you cannot believe anything you read on social media, like I hear endless podcast discussions and radio and essays written about people going, how do we deal with the fact that we're going to live in a post-truth and even more post-truth world, a post-truth world? And the answer is just don't open the app. Like, it's really easy for me not to be. AI is not going to get to me because I don't look at social media. It is so simple. And I think it might speed, just like Elon's, takeover of X has sort of sped the end of Twitter.
Yeah.
Or at least left it now as a sort of place for radical edgelords to hang out. But it's not really, the New York Times is no longer going to Twitter except to see what dickhead writes. I think AI art will make people notice. So to come back to what you were just saying, will make people notice that actually art is content plus intent, not just content. And that even if AI can write a better song than me, and you put them side by side and there's no qualitative difference between the two songs, the audience will still buy tickets to come and watch me play the one I've written, and it won't buy tickets to go watch the AI play its, because there's no human effort, there's no sweat, there's no intent, there's no sense that someone chose to put this into the world as a drop in the ocean of the human conversation. So I'm hoping the Luddites will win this time. I don't think we will, but that's the hill I'm going to die on.
It's a beautiful picture you're painting. I love the idea of it.
Naive, huh?
Well, I guess my only worry would be like when you pass that uncanny valley and people don't know that the song you wrote, you're playing it on stage, but you generated it in 15 minutes. And I guess that's. I mean, is there anything lost if that happens? Like your workflow is a little quicker.
Not for them. Well, no, it is lost because if every artist is just getting AI to write their art, then there's no human intention in the story. We're not generating meaning where it's all reactive and reductive, and it's a response to the old human stories that are being iterated by a bot to kind of keep twisting it into new balloon animals using the same old balloons. I mean, humans are just bots as well. We're just meat bots. I mean, we're just iterating old ideas through a different filter. It's kind of fine. I just don't see what the fucking point is. Like, why would you voluntarily contribute to a world in which human intent is obsolete? Like, I've got this phrase I'm going to put onto a T-shirt, which is that humans seem dead set on conveniencing themselves into meaninglessness.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We are conveniencing out. We're taking away all the things that give us meaning, because happiness and meaning come, if you read the data and read the happiness studies, the big one is community, right? People are happier when they feel like they're making a meaningful contribution to their community. That's the phrase I've read somewhere. And we're literally systematically taking away our opportunities to make meaningful human contributions by handing off our agency to bots. And this goes all the way back to the looms, the auto looms that made the material.
That's where it all started. It started with the looms.
I was thinking my T-shirt could say humans conveniencing themselves into meaninglessness since 1564, or whenever the very beginning of the Industrial Revolution is. But maybe you need to go back to the Agrarian Revolution and
don't you have to go back to wells, because now you don't have to carry buckets of water?
Yeah, maybe wells. Yeah, blame wells and Fargo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm because I'm a determinist as well. I do think that as soon as humans stopped wandering, basically remove themselves from the animal world, as soon as Harari would say we were domesticated by wheat, which is a nice idea. We were basically on a path to our own destruction, probably.
So were the pre-wheat humans happier, in your opinion?
I don't know. I don't know. I suspect it would have, if you care, I mean, if you care about nothing, none of it matters. But if you care about the idea of this one planet where maybe the only intelligent life has ever, I mean, it's hard. This is a tough conversation because I mean, it's intellectually tough because I suspect that the speed at which humans are careering not only towards meaninglessness but just annihilation, environmental and it and it might not happen, but it will happen one day. But who cares? But it does feel like as soon as you industrialized, or really as soon as you farmed, that it was only going to go one way. As it turns out, it's easy to say now.
Yeah.
So it's hard not to think hunter-gatherer was the place to stop if you didn't want to because it's very quick. It's been
quick.
Very, very, very quick. There's been
and it feels like it's getting quicker, right?
Oh yeah, it's accelerating. It's only been a few hundred years, and there's been sapiens for many thousands, and sapien-like creatures for hundreds of thousands. Is that right? I'm getting my numbers right, but
yeah, roughly.
Then the conversation is none of this mattered. There'd be no writing, no only very inchoate painting. There'd be no understanding of who we are in the universe. There'd be no background radiation. There'd be no understanding of the event horizon. There'd be no knowledge of what the planets are. There'd just be stories. I don't know, man.
I don't know. It sounds kind of good. You just listed a long list of things that give me existential dread anyway.
That's right. Yeah, you just want the story. You just want the rain to have come from that sparkly thing in the sky who's a god called whatever.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a simpler way of living, and I think there's pretty clear year-on-year studies that at least teenagers and young people are not happier. And if we talk about tech being the problem, and then we look at the rate in which tech's accelerating, there's a fairly simple, crude pattern to be drawn that we're not going to make progress in the right ways. And so I think that makes things scary. But at the same time, to go to your point of this anti-tech revolution, I was just in a cinema watching a horror movie, a completely packed out cinema, and we all gasped together, we all winced together, we all got jump scared together, and then we all laughed about the scare together. And I don't remember that happening 5 years ago. I really don't.
Yeah. I think so. And we're selling more concert tickets. And
is that right?
Yeah, I think people are selling more concert tickets. I think people are craving human connection. There's a post-COVID thing there too.
Yes.
Especially young people for whom this last 3 years are their first experience of adulthood where they're allowed to gather, So, positive human change has never come from a movement of cynicism. So I choose to be optimistic, and I choose to feather my own nest as a live guy, as an artist who believes very, very strongly in gathering people together and taking them on a journey. So my concerts, there are no phones. It's like properly phones off. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I demand phonelessness, and you'll come and see it in November at the ICC. It's good.
I certainly will.
And I talk about all this stuff about content and intent and about human stories, and we have to find a way to take back. We're so stupid. It's just a handful of people in Silicon Valley have just told us how our lives are going to be. It's absolutely, we will look back baffled by how we just walked like lemmings off the cliff into this period, and we just have to turn around. I don't suppose we will turn around, but I'm all in for turning around.
Okay, well, how do we turn around? If you could replace one school subject with another, what would you replace, and with what?
Well, look, it's fucking impossible, and obviously we're talking on right now on technology created also by those Silicon Valley nerds, and but it's not digital It's not our capacity to take photos and videos and turn them into 0 ones and back into light, like whatever the fuck's going on. That's not the problem. The problem is the hacking of our brains to get addicted to short form, tiny ideas that are promoted most keenly when they outrage us. And so it's social media specifically that we need to get off. And it's just the revolution is not anything except voting with your feet. We just need to. I say to my kids, can you just have WhatsApp and Snapchat, talk to your friends in groups, and just don't be on Instagram ever. Just don't go there. Like, what's the point? So the initial revolution is just not looking at your phone all the fucking time, being fed content that you have no agency over. You're not choosing to look at this stuff. It is choosing you. You're not choosing when to get the news. You're not choosing what type of entertainment. I mean, the algorithm's trying to please you, which is its own toxicity. So, I mean, I say all this, but when I put a tour on sale, I just put it on social media and everyone buys tickets. I mean, we'll have to find new ways.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're like, how else? I mean, if conversation and idea exchange is the goal, it feels like the only avenue we have right now is social media in terms of getting in front of people who might listen and then talk about the things that we want to talk about or that you hope that people will talk about. And it's painful.
I know I'm sounding hopelessly naive, and I'm not. I'm just sort of testing these thoughts. Certainly getting off social media was very important for me and my mental health. But
specifically, in what ways did it improve your mental health, if you don't mind sharing?
I think it's very bad for me to read people saying I'm special all the time.
Interesting.
So there's that side of it. I think it's incredibly painful to see people call you a fat, talentless bigot all the time, which is... or whatever they say, I didn't see much of that because I don't go looking for it, but just knowing it's out there, sort of I found myself after once you've experienced a couple of piles on, you find yourself like having every time I'd click on something and there'd be a comment section under a video and I'd have a physical reaction where my palms would start sweating. And I would get as much, I mean, for an artist who talks about tough ideas and has been quite outrageous, I'm very, very lucky. I mostly get really positive. I have a huge audience and people think I'm a nice guy, I think, and I get good reviews. So I shouldn't be like that, but it doesn't take many times having people just pile on you, like whether it's because of my Briggs song during COVID or my Cardinal Pell song or like saying the wrong thing.
Well, it hurts. We're humans at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's unbelievably rewiring.
We feel visceral, emotional pain. But let's say you weren't a celebrity. Why else should people get off social media?
Well, it's about agency. It's about when you're taking on information. So you're going through the world. You're a kid at uni and you've got your friends, or you're a parent and you've got kids, or you're a teacher and you've got a job, or you're a journalist, or whatever you're doing, you shouldn't be in a situation where at any given moment of the day an idea or a photo or a traumatic event or gets thrown at you when you didn't choose that. And not to mention an advertisement for a product. I mean, basically we are spending our whole days with a billboard in our hand. The programming of the billboard is not ours to choose. It's just like suddenly you're looking at a video of someone that makes you feel whatever. You're looking at a bomb going off in Gaza, or you're looking at an advertisement for new Hessian bamboo socks, and you're just like, it's not. You're not choosing any of this. So I've got news apps, right? I go and look at the news usually once a day, and I change my news sources. I might spend 15 minutes a day reading the news, unless I find a long read article that I really want to look at. And I am across the news and I'm distressed by it, and I I allow it to influence my behavior. It has influenced what charities I'm working with at the moment, and but I'm not constantly the victim of some robot's decision about what is going into my brain at any given time.
That sounds like a very mature way of dealing with it. But I mean, I guess you then have the next level of like, how do you find nonpartisan news? And, how do you make sure that the news isn't just reinforcing your views?
Well, that's slightly a different conversation, because that's ever been thus. How do you get objective information? How do you make sure you're not just reading The Guardian, given that it confirms, all your biases? And how do you challenge yourself without feeling angry every time anyone says something you disagree with? I mean, there's that goes into the principle of charity area, but the first, we just need to understand that we've been addicted to a thing that is bad for us. Culturally, it seems clear to me that being addicted to social media is bad for humans, and many of us are addicted. And identifying the fact that you're addicted, that you're not in control of when you pick up your phone, that you're not even consciously choosing to pick up your phone, and that the sum total outcome of this mass addiction is plummeting rates of wellness and skyrocketing rates of radicalization and false binaries in our politics. And once you observe all that data, it's just like, well, who's gonna fix it except you? Yeah, and it's so easy. It's not easy because you're addicted, but the path is very clear. Delete your apps and just don't ever look at it again. But of course, there's great losses incurred in that moment. You lose your friendship group. I never know what my friends are doing. I never know what concerts are on. I don't know how to keep in touch with everyone's movements, but I don't know.
But I don't know. In the anti-tech revolution, we'd meet at a cafe and we'd talk about the concerts we might go to.
Yeah, and hopefully there'd be a poster on the wall, or
there'd be a poster,
or you join a mailing list. You get an email. You choose to look at your email at a certain time of day, and in that is a bi-weekly newsletter that you get that tells you everything that's on in your area.
We should have stopped at email, Tim. That was the sweet spot.
MySpace, yeah.
MySpace. Oh no, MySpace. You could rank your friends.
Yeah, totally.
I grew up with that. That is a tougher pill to swallow than anything I've ever seen on Instagram.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get to pleasure. I mean, I guess like in a way, it's a dopamine hit when you're rolling through whatever next reel or short comes through.
Mm-hmm.
You once said that happiness is like an orgasm. If you think about it too much, it goes away. So here's how we come full circle. Is a world without art or a world without orgasms a better place?
Oh, jeepers. I think you'd have to take the world without orgasms, but I don't know what the biological impetus is. I mean, like, I don't know how we keep breeding if we don't get the special feeling, if we're not driven to that special feeling.
Government regulated.
Yeah, right. Just sperm extraction. I mean, that would be fine. Yes, I wouldn't want to live in a world without art or a world without orgasms, but being 50, I've had a lot of orgasms, so I'll selfishly just do away with them. They probably caused me more trouble than anything.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah, but again, a world without art, we'd have to decide what the boundaries. What are the boundaries of the thing we're excoriating? Is your moustache have to go?
Are art. Yeah, the moustache goes.
Yeah. But are paint enemas art? I suppose they are.
I think they're the highest form of art.
Yeah, certainly.
Tim, you've got a tour coming up. What's gonna happen? What can people expect to see?
Well, I've done it all around England, so I'll be rolling it out. I like where the show got to. I mean, it's called Songs the World Will Never Hear, which is a quote from one of my songs. And the subtitle of the tour is celebrating 20 years of hardcore fucking rock and roll nerding. So it's a bit of a retrospective where I just go back and talk about just briefly about how everything went weird for me 20 years ago, and people started coming to my shows, and it allows me to play songs from all over the place. And I play, my newest song I wrote this year, that goes in there. I play a song from Matilda that's just absolutely banging.
Yeah.
I play a bit of Groundhog Day, but I go all the way back to early comedy stuff and roll some of that out. And it's fucking fun. But there is a sense of this conversation, not the tech conversation, although I do dabble in that, but there is a sense that the show has a bit of Seven Stages of Man stuff in it, and it does reflect on a little bit just in how I talk about my songs, about what I've learned, and what I was doing when I was young, and how that's changed now. And I mean, I hope my shows always make people laugh and cry and think, and that's the job.
Yeah.
And it was a huge thing in the UK. I mean, a lot of people seem to like it, so I presume it'll be the same here.
Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, Tim. And we'll put a link to both your book and your tour in the description. It's been an absolute pleasure. Your mind works in weird and wonderful and exciting ways for me always. And it's been great to have you back on another show.
Pleasure, Jonah. We'll do it again sometime. I'm not sure I said anything useful for your listeners, but
we'll put it all on social media and we'll see what they say.
We'll see what they say. Yeah, come at me, bitches.
Okay, thanks, Tim.